You are watching 21 Alive News Now. I'm our boss coming to you live from our digital news desk here in Fort Wayne. It is Monday, November 27th, about 2:52 p.m. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving and a wonderful holiday season. And if you were like me and you went out of town or out of state and then got back, boy, oh boy, did you come back to a blast of old man winter. We've
Yes.
got meteorologist Brian Barrett standing by. He's going to tell us in depth about the freezing temperatures, how long we can expect it to last. Brian, I always like to start with a live look outside at the current conditions. This is one of those great features here on 21alivenews.com where you can see photos just from a couple minutes ago. You can see that's from our patio camera. You can still see some of the snow there on the grass there, Brian. And then if we look over at Broadway Plaza, you can see obviously the Christmas on Broadway Christmas tree up as well. But Brian, the person that people really want to hear from is you and the weather. So Brian, take it away. How cold is it going to get, and how long can we expect it to remain this cold?
Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of go right now kind of about the forecast for today. We are expecting mostly cloudy skies to stick around. Those temperatures will remain into the 20s throughout the course of your day. But still, we are going to see those winds fairly breezy, mainly out of the west, between around 10 to 20 miles per hour. And notice we have those gusts around 30 miles per hour at times. So definitely hang on to your hats today and bundle up, because those wind chill values, that's factoring the temperatures as well as the winds, those are going to be quite cold. Notice right behind me, into the teens for this Monday afternoon. So definitely, if you're headed out the door, we're going to be seeing some fairly chilly weather and even single-digit feel-like temperatures into your Monday evening. Fort Wayne, those feel-like temperatures at 7 degrees by around 10 p.m. So definitely, if you're headed out maybe for some late evening plans, bring that coat and also that jacket, maybe that hat too, because we're going to be seeing some fairly chilly weather. That should carry into our Tuesday as well. Notice near actually 0 degrees for your Tuesday early morning hours. Maybe if those kids are headed out for the bus stop, give them those hand warmers and pack multiple layers for them, because we're going to see some fairly chilly weather continue into our afternoon, even those wind chills into the teens. Highs will only peak into the 20s, but those feel-like temperatures, that's factoring in that wind. It's going to make it feel quite brisk for your Tuesday. But definitely if you're going outside, we do have some cold weather safety tips. We do know that children lose heat faster rather than adults. So make sure to wear multiple or numerous layers of clothing if you're heading out to have any plans, and then also keep your pets indoors because they can get cold just as quickly as the humans can. So that's just kind of a little forecast about the cold weather. However, the good news, we are going to see some relief into our midweek. Those temperatures into the 40s by Wednesday, which is closer to average for this time of year. And then as we continue into your Thursday afternoon, we'll see those temperatures remaining slightly above average, and definitely some nice weather expected for your Friday. But still, as we head to the end of your week, we are expecting maybe some chances of some of those showers. That's the only downfall with this quote-unquote warmer weather, but still, we are expecting some fairly chilly weather for your Monday as well as into your Tuesday. But the good news, we are going to see a jump in our temperatures by midweek.
You are watching 21 Alive News Now. I'm our boss coming to you live from our digital news desk. We've got meteorologist Brian Barrett here. We've got him for a few more minutes. I did want to mention that if you do have a question for Brian, if you have a question about the weather, a question about the forecast, you want to know how it's going to be specifically in your area, maybe something Brian didn't touch upon, you can type your question in to our chat that you see there on Facebook Live. I will be looking at those. If you have a question for Brian or question about the weather, let us know about that. Brian, I did want to ask you, with the temperatures remaining as cold as they're going to remain for today and then for tomorrow as well, do you believe that that's going to have any effect on the roads or on driving conditions, Brian?
We're not really expecting any impacts in terms of our driving conditions. You may have noticed this morning there were a couple slick spots, but still, yeah, just still use caution maybe if you're headed out for some plans. But otherwise, we're looking at really not too many road impacts as we continue throughout today as well as into tomorrow.
And then, Brian, as far as later in your week, I understand you're saying it's going to stay mostly dry until, I believe you said about Thursday.
Yep.
Is going to be our next chance for some moisture. I know that the highs on Thursday are going to be, above freezing.
Yep.
But I did see that the lows are going to go below freezing, with the chance of there being moisture and it going below freezing at night. Is there a chance there, Brian, for some hazardous driving conditions or some slick spots once the temperatures drop below freezing later in the week?
I'm thinking, because we have those temperatures into the 30s and not expecting to break that freezing mark. So as of right now, the system is a little far out, so we are kind of still looking at it and seeing how it is evolving at this time. And then hopefully later in the week, we can give you a more definitive answer. But, still any weather, especially rain, snow, use caution if you're headed out on the road. If you see any wet water, any slick spots, as you may have seen this morning. So, yeah, like I was just kind of saying, maybe it's a little far out in advance, but we'll have some more updates into you later in the week.
And then last thing for you, Brian, again, you are watching 21 Alive News now. I'm our boss here with meteorologist Brian Barrett. Brian, you were talking about really the cold temperatures over the next 2 days is sort of where our biggest concern is. Is tomorrow morning, is that going to be kind of the time frame where it's going to be most important for people to really bundle up? I know you were showing some of those specific temperatures that we're going to see tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Especially for your Tuesday morning, sending those kiddos off for the bus stop. Maybe if you're headed out to work, we're going to see those wind chills into the single digits. But not only that are we having a little concerns about, but also into your afternoon, we are seeing those wind chills still into the teens. So, we're seeing our temperatures warm up a little, but still it's going to feel, it's the end of November right now, feeling more like, late December, early January in terms of our weather. Right after Thanksgiving, the holiday weather really has came across our region.
You are watching 21 Alive News now. I'm our boss here with meteorologist Brian Barrett. We are getting ready to wrap up. Of course, we'll have weather updates for you throughout the evening in our 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. newscasts. Brian, before you go, here on the digital desk, we know that people come and go at different times. So I'm sure there are some people watching now who did not see